All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to another MLB The Show 25 stream here on Twitch. I'm NextJGGen24, and today we're going to be starting. I don't think we're going to be finishing, but we're going to be starting the only conquest map that I have yet to complete at least once. What's up, Bubbles? How are you? And that is the Cactus Map here. This is actually from spring training. It lists all the teams that are part of the Cactus League in spring training. So, I mean, this one came out early last year. I just never got around to it because I did the grapefruit one and I really had no interest at that time in doing this, considering it was a lot of strongholds and I didn't really have that strong of a team with it. So by, saving it until now, that gives me the opportunity to go ahead and have an easier path to completing this in a more timely fashion. So obviously the first stronghold we're going after is the Reds, because they are the closest, and then we'll see what happens from there. Maybe we'll try to get Texas. Maybe we'll move down towards Chicago and then head towards the White Sox or the Mariners, and then just try to conquer each part of the map as we individually go. How long do you think? I mean, there's a lot of strongholds for this one. So I suspect that this will take me at least 2 streams to get done. Robert 2 Morales, what's up? How you doing? Welcome back. Appreciate you stopping by. And also some of these strongholds I'm going to be stealing fans. Like I'm going to be stealing the fans from the Cincinnati Reds. Don't think I'll go on All-Star because I really don't want to test that with 3 players at a position. So I think I'm just going to do veteran and hope for the best on that one. Remember, this is still the lineup that I have projected, or this is the lineup. The lineup that I have is the projected 2026 lineup for the New York Mets, outside of Brett Beatty being left field instead of DH and Carson Bench being in left field, because there is no Carson Bench card in Diamond Dynasty this year. There was one last year, but this year it's not there. So it's unfortunate, yes, but it is what it is. For the most part, though, the lineup is lineup is pretty much as it should be. Luis Robert Jr., Juan Soto, Jorge Polanco, Marcus Semien, Francisco Lindor, Bo Bichette, and Francisco Alvarez. Those guys are definitely supposed to be here. So, how's it going on this fine Friday? Whoops, meant to go to Cactus one here. It's going all right, not just, I know I'm a little late, and I do apologize. Well, not a little, I am late. I'm almost a half hour late. It's just, I woke up late. I don't think I'll ever get over not using Freddie Peralta. Like, especially his 99, it just makes me excited for the upcoming season. That being said, I'm not one to... I understand that a lot can happen over the course of a season, so I'm not one to do that or to just start investing in tickets right now. That being said, maybe my mind has changed about attending a game or two. And raise the apple for Francisco Lindor. I don't know. It wouldn't... going to Mets games would not impact my ability to be able to stream. I could stream early. I could stream at noon on Tuesdays, and then that way... Because Tuesdays are really the only game that I can go... Or the only days that I could go to games. I can't go any other day because I would never make it. Or... Well, Monday I can't because, you know, that's my Saturday for me. So I wouldn't be able to make that. You know, because I would wake up at 2, stream a full 3 hours. I wouldn't make it to the game on time. Nice, Polanco. But Tuesday I have a lot more flexibility since that's technically my Sunday. And speaking of weekends, got a big snowstorm. I mean, it's already starting to impact places like New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma. And I think it's going to be impacting the southeastern U.S. Starting tonight, and then possibly by tomorrow night, Saturday night, that's when we're going to see a lot of the snow in the Northeast. It's going to be a lot. But I already have things all planned out. I booked my hotel room for the weekend in New York City. Thankfully, it's just right down the street from my workplace. And my work has agreed to reimburse me for the room. What up, Dodger? How are ya? So that was very important. Otherwise, I might as well have just called out for the weekend because there was no way I'd be, well, maybe not for the weekend, but at least for Sunday night, I would not be able to. Although maybe I could have also called out for Saturday night because that's. If that's when it's supposed to start snowing here in the Northeast, you know, Saturday overnight, then that's going to make it tough for me to get back. 0-1. Get back home. What a week for the Mets. Yes, sir. Bo Bichette, Luis Robert Jr., Freddie Peralta. Now I'm hearing that Peralta is open to an extension with the Mets, which is huge. If the Mets can get that done, then this trade all around is much, much better. I mean, it's already pretty solid, but if you could get Peralta to sign an extension, it's all that much better because I think that's exactly what you're looking for. You want a guy like Peralta to sign an extension. After all, you gave up two top of the line prospects, 2 top 5 prospects for. And when I say prospects, I mean or top 5, I mean in the Mets system. That's low. That's a ball. But you gave up 2 of them to be able to get Freddie Peralta and Tobias Myers, and we can't forget about Myers. That's an F. I know it's easy to just focus on Peralta, but Myers is really the one that got it done. If Myers is not thrown in, we're not seeing this trade. I mean, I personally would have liked to see someone like Trevor McGill or another top reliever from the Brewers in it. But you know what? I'm okay with Myers because he is a solid pitcher. But it also goes to show you that, you know, in the long game, in the end, David Stearns was playing the long game. Okay, he didn't get Kyle Tucker, but I mean the Dodgers just outbid the Mets for Tucker. But he did a good job of pivoting right to Bo Bichette, which is somebody who I didn't think that the Mets were going to get at all. Like, I didn't even realize he was on their radar. Now, I do think it's interesting that they're going to make him play third base. But Bo can play, or if he can, he's got a whole spring training to be able to learn it, get comfortable. And if things don't work out in the beginning, I mean, we still have Vientos, we still have Beatty. I preferably have Beatty over Vientos at third, but that's just preference. I'm just saying that, you know, the Mets at least, they have, if what they're trying to do with Bo Bichette is not going to work, then strike three, sit down. Then at least they have time to be able, or they have options to be able to work it out. Overall, I just don't think there's a lot of pressure on Bichette to learn third base. There might be a little bit more pressure on Polanco to learn first or get more familiar with first. But it's not like the options aren't there. I mean, Brett Beatty could play first, so could Mark Vientos. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. But overall, I think the Mets are in a pretty good position. And you know, we'll see how it goes. It's a very interesting. I made this comment yesterday. It's a very interesting lineup when you compare it to 2025, and I think there are a lot of analysts who agree with me on this. Raise the apple for Juan Soto. That this lineup is more about contact, putting the ball in play, and getting guys on base and driving them in. That's what I feel like the theme of this lineup is. Not the... Last year you saw guys like Mark Vientos, Juan Soto, Pete Alonso, Brendan Nimmo to an extent. Francisco Lindor had over 30 home runs. This was a team that was built on power. And clearly it did not work. So now David Stearns said, I'm going to go ahead and create a contact lineup that in all likelihood is more focused on analytics as I raise the apple for Bo Bichette.
Now pitching for the Reds, number 31.
And they'll try to win games that way. That may work. That may not work. I can't say for sure. But it is an interesting comparison, and maybe it can lead to some wins for the Mets. The question is it going to be enough for the Mets to be able to win a lot? That's the big question. You know, is this team any different than what last year's team was in terms of wins? Is it better? Is it worse? Raise the apple for Brett Beatty. But we'll have to wait and see. But there is a lot of potential here, so we'll see how it goes. Getting Freddie Peralta was huge. Because they needed a top-of-the-rotation starter. No offense to Nolan McLean, but it's too early to say whether or not he's an ace for the Mets. Freddie Peralta with 17 wins last year, an ERA under 3. I mean, there's always that concern about, a pitcher potentially coming off of his career year and then dropping like an egg, basically. There's always that concern, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. I think Freddie Peralta is the type of pitcher that you could get a number of years out of as a solid starter. And there's also the hope that, Sean Manaea and Kodai Senga, they're going to have better, they're going to have bounce back years. Or you hope that they have bounce back years. Again, we'll have to wait and see what happens. I mean, Manaea, you really hope that, because right now he's getting paid $25 million a year. Now, granted, last year he was hurt, so hopefully he's much better this year. So, a lot of potential for the Mets, but a lot of questions as well. That's going to be the theme of this 2026 Mets team. Even Luis, a number of guys they got in their lineup right now, are Lindor and Soto going to be able to repeat their performances from last year? And it's so funny to me that people criticize Francisco Lindor last year. I get it. Some people think he's a second half guy. But I mean, if you look at his numbers, I think he had a 30-30 season. Which, by any other MLB team standards, would be absolutely elite. I think he just got overshadowed by Juan Soto. But he was still a big contributor to the Mets. So, they can, the key, one of the keys is going to be, can Lindor and Soto can they repeat their performances? That's number one. Number two, can the new guys, Bo Bichette and Luis Robert Jr. and Jorge Polanco, can they come through? And Marcus Semien.
Batting fourth, the first baseman, number 7, Jorge Polanco.
He made the stupid mistake. Yeah.
No, that missed.
I bet that was fun, SB Champ. Should have done it either last night or Wednesday night. I mean, people were already panic buying by the middle of the week. But I guess we're doing our job in the news industry where we're making everyone scared about this snowstorm.
No balls. 2 strikes.
Okay.
Hee-haw! 0-1. Hike!
I mean, I feel like I've got my affairs in order for this weekend. I've already booked my hotel room, and I've got everything all squared away so that when this storm hits, I'm ready.
No balls. 1 strike.
I am not surprised.
Hike! 0-2.
Of course, being in the news industry, that's what I've been hearing about for the last couple of nights. Strike 3, sit down.
Now,
Dang, a 70 stream streak.
number 26.
Holy crap.
Chase Bird. Batting 7, the center fielder, Luis
I mean,
Roberts.
maybe, just maybe, it's not going to be as bad as we think it may be. I mean, oh, who am I kidding? It's going to be bad. Okay, no problem. No problem. You go do whatever you need to do. I'll just be talking baseball. Anyway, I want to pick up where I left off with my thought about the Mets. Like, what are the question marks coming into this season? You know, talking about can Lindor and Soto repeat their performances from last year? Can the new guys, Bo Bichette, Jorge Polanco,
Full count.
Luis Robert Jr., Marcus Semien, can they do something in New York? Also, the pitching. How is Freddie Peralta going to improve the rotation? And can Sean Manaea and Kodai Senga, can they bounce back? Can Nolan McLean continue his performance from last year or towards the end of last year? Mind you, this is no longer he starts in the minors and then comes up for the last month of the season. No, he's starting at the majors. That much is clear. You know, and then there's the bullpen.
Be safe. Hey!
You know, how does Tobias Myers help
Now pitching
in that role? Maybe he's actually a fringe starter. Maybe he's like fifth starter for the Mets. I don't know. Can Luke Weaver and Devin Williams, can they be solid additions to the bullpen? So a lot of question marks here.
The batter, the right fielder,
And also,
Juan
is Bo Bichette and Jorge Polanco playing out of positions, playing new positions for themselves? Is that, you know, how's that gonna impact the defense? Raise the apple for Juan Soto. So, a lot of questions here.
Oh.
And of course, the biggest question, can they all stay healthy?
Back one. 0-1.
All right? Injuries are just part of the game. You just hope that
0-2.
you just hope that they're not severe enough that it derails the season.
Hut. It's 0-1. Hee-haw.
Strike 3, sit down.
Ha.
I will say, though, that and I think a lot of Met fans agree with me on this, believe
No
that
balls, 2 strikes.
this Mets team is far better than what it was at the end of December. After we lost Diaz, after we lost Alonso, we traded away Nimmo and McNeil. I mean, this team is a lot better. A lot. But is it enough to win games? And raise the apple for Jorge Polanco. Yep. Well, that's how we got Semien.
He's in there.
We traded Nimmo for Semien. Essentially, guys on large contracts that were earning a lot more than they should. And
0-1.
Rangers are like, okay, we could use the left fielder. Mets said, we need a second baseman, a more solid second baseman. And the answer came in the form of Semien and Nimmo.
Up. Up.
Now batting, the center fielder, Luis Roberts.
Ugh. Ugh.
0-2.
Strike 3, sit out.
Right. 0-2.
Strike 3, sit down. I mean, if Freddie Peralta can be anything like the way that I'm playing with him right now, or I've been playing with him for the last couple days, I mean, if he's anything like that, I think the Mets are in pretty good position, at least pitching.
That's up. That's a ball. Nope. Ball.
Strike 3, sit down. Oh, we got a Framber Valdez signing. He's joining the Atlanta Braves. It looks like it's a 2-year deal with a team option after this upcoming season. So, Framber Valdez to the Atlanta Braves. That's a pretty solid rotation. Chris Sale, Valdez, Striders, Schwellenbach. Don't sleep on the Braves. I'm telling you guys, do not sleep on the Braves. I know better as a Mets fan not to sleep on the Braves. I know the focus is really on the Mets and the or the Phillies, but do not sleep on the Braves. And for that matter, don't sleep on Miami either. Miami can be gritty. They're going to earn every single run that they score. That's what I saw last year, and that ultimately cost the Mets last year. Especially in that final season, or final series.
One and two.
So,
Ball. 2 and 2.
thought that would get over him. Should have just let it go.
Hey, ha!
Nice, Soto.
Batting third, the third baseman, Bo Bichette.
Runner, runner, runner!
Yeah! No, safe.
Uh-oh, Soto may be out. Dang it! I overestimated his speed. I should have just kept him at third. But that's my mistake. I was too aggressive.
Hee-haw! 0 and 1. Hee-haw! No balls, 2 strikes. Hey, 3.
Oh, strike 3, sit down for that last batter.
Hee-haw! 0 and 2. Ha! Hike one.
Well, let's get Cal Raleigh.
Hey, right. 0 and 2.
Strike 3, sit down. Spammer, get out of here.
Now pitching for the Mariners, number 83, Edward Buzzardo.
Nice. Brett Beatty raised the apple.
Hut! 0 balls, 1 strike.
Good solid base hit. Oh, that's the other thing, too. Like, can Brett Beatty, Francisco Alvarez,
Robert.
and Mark Vientos, can they have bounce back years, too? Because that's going to be equally as important. Those guys, you know, are the future / now generation of the Mets.
Marcus.
And we need them to have bounce back years. Alvarez for sure. Vientos, he would go a long way towards adding some pop to this lineup, if that's the case. And Brett Beatty, I mean, he's going to be learning a lot of different positions. He's going to be learning left field. He could be learning first base.
Front 2.
You know, it's just
1 and 2's the count.
to me, can those guys be solid? Can they have bounce back years?
Oh. Hey, you beat it.
I certainly hope so.
Now pitching for the Mariners, number 55, Gabe Spire.
Yeah. Hup.
There we go.
Hey. One 0.
And raise the apple for Juan Soto.
Now pitching for the Mariners, number 64, Casey Legavita.
Strike 3, sit down.
That's a ball.
You know, I have to say, for Jorge Polanco, I mean, I had my concerns about having him play first base at a position, but honestly, it seems like he's been okay. If anything, Beatty in left field has given me the most trouble. Strike 3, sit down.
No, that missed. That's a ball. Hey. 1-1.
Strike 3, sit down.
Pitching for the Mariners, number 54, Carlos Vargas.
Nice.
Now batting, catcher Francisco Alvarez.
Francisco Alvarez, too. I know a lot of these guys like Alvarez and Beatty and Vientos. You know, the guys that are actually Mets.
Now
Those
batting,
guys are
the center
a
fielder,
super
Luis
factor. But
Robert.
it's all about just getting a preview for what this lineup is going to look like this year or in this upcoming season. That's what this is all about. Just getting a preview. Now get back. That's my mistake. I couldn't tell whether it was caught or if it was gone.
Now pitching for the Mariners.
And ultimately, that indecisiveness cost.
Taylor. Now batting, the designated hitter, Mark Vientos.
Here.
Honestly, I think Framber Valdez was like the last top free agent. I'm not so sure we're going to see too many more this, unless we see trades. Oh, I don't know where I was supposed to pitch it, so I'm winging it.
Batting eight, the shortstop, J.P. Crawford.
Oh, and we have another signing too here. Sir Anthony Dominguez, the former Blue Jays reliever, he's signing a... Hold on, I gotta pay attention here. He's signing a 2-year agreement with the Chicago
Batting
White
ninth,
Sox.
the right fielder, Victor Robles.
So Sir Anthony Dominguez is off the board. I didn't even realize he was on the board, but okay. Strike 3, sit out. Well, I'm not seeing much else. Oh, yeah, the Mets acquiring Vidal Brujan from the Twins. Well, I mean, Brujan is clearly a utility guy. So, we'll see what happens with him. Although this is more of a bench. Well, now I think I have to add the Doll Bruhan. Let's see if there are any cards of his Bruhan. Whoops. Wait, where am I? Ah, there we go. Did I say his name right? Oh, no. I didn't. What the heck? Is there no Bruhan? Well, he was on the Twins before he went to the Mets. But I think... Or is it just not letting me... Not letting me search for some reason? Let's see. I think he was with the Cubs at the end of the season. Castro, Shea, Valencia. Nope. Not here. And I wouldn't suspect that he has any flashback Cubs cards. Maybe he has a Rays card. That could be possible. Let's see. No. Was he a free agent? Oops. See, this is why I prefer to look it up through. Oh, he's on the Braves. That explains it. Well, that's the only version of him, so if I add him to my lineup, there we go. Excuse me. All right, so too bad we don't have Carson Bench. Otherwise, I might have the Mets 2026 roster. All right, let's go take down the Seattle Mariners.
Leading off for the Wolves, the shortstop, Francisco Lindor.
Nice.
Runner! Yeehaw! No, too late.
Gotta take out the double play somehow. Hold on 1 second, guys. Okay, I am sorry about that. Thought something was gonna happen and just wanted to make sure that it wasn't gonna happen on stream.
Nope, ball.
There we go. Juan Soto taking off. Still a ball? Wow. Ball 3.
He's good.
I mean, Bichette could honestly just draw a walk here.
Hey, ha! Strike 2. Full count.
Beautiful. Need that Bo Bichette to come through for the Mets. To have a chance to drive in Francisco Lindor and Juan Soto. Bo Bichette does that enough times during the regular season. I mean, the Mets are in pretty good position. Maybe I didn't need to advance Beatty. After all, I have to remember I can't keep pitching with Freddie Peralta. Like, I still need to get Luke Weaver and Devin Williams some appearances.
Hee-haw! 0 balls, 1 strike.
That isn't to say that I'm going to stop scoring runs. It's just saying I need to bear that in mind because Freddie Peralta, I've been able to minimize the fact that he's not getting as much, or I've been able to minimize any potential damage from him having no stamina. But how long can I keep that up, you know?
Ball, that's in. Strike 2. 1 and 2's the count.
Strike 3, sit out.
One. Strike. 0-2.
Strike 3, sit out.
Ball. No, that's down. Ball. Hey, ha! 2-1.
Ooh, I gotta remember to pack later tonight so that I don't have to worry about that tomorrow.
Strike 2. Full count.
I wanted to go to the gym today.
Right.
Strike 3, sit out.
Pitching for the Mariners, number 54, Carlos Vargas.
And Marcus Semien raised the apple.
Now batting, the shortstop, Francisco Lindor.
Oh, I see here. I see here that Tigers hold firm on Tarek Skubal amid sky-high
Now batting, the
trade
right fielder,
talks. The
Juan
Detroit Tigers ace,
Soto.
fresh off a repeat AL Cy Young, drew interest from teams like the Yankees and Mets, but brief talks ended fast as Detroit's demands proved too
Now
steep.
batting,
MLB insider John Heyman reported the rivals saw no chance, praising Skubal as super elite, while noting that the Tigers aren't actively shopping their playoff contender. Adding tension, agent Scott Boras filed a record $32 million arbitration figure against Detroit's $19 million counter, the widest gap ever. With hearings in February, fans traded rival Japs online as the Phillies and others keep watching.
Ball. 1 ball, no
So, in all honesty, that means that, I mean, you kind of had to figure that the Tigers were in no mood to be trading Tarek Skubal, at least now.
Batting fifth, the first baseman, Chuck Naylor.
Hey.
they're coming off of like back-to-back postseason appearances. Why would they give that all up just because they can't extend, or right now they can't extend Tarek Skubal? Now, if it's towards the middle of the season and the Tigers look like they're out of it, then
0-2.
I would suspect that they'll be open to trading Skubal. Strike 3, sit out.
Hee-haw. 0-1. 2. No balls. 2 strikes. Strike.
Strike 3, sit out.
Pitching for the Mariners.
So we'll see then,
Number
but
59. Troy.
for right now, I totally understand the Yankees and Mets backing off of a potential trade for Skubal. My biggest concern, though, is that the Dodgers are going to swoop in and trade him and then give him like a really big contract. That's my biggest concern.
Brett Beatty.
That hit him. Batter, take your base.
I mean, if anyone, the Mets are in prime position to not let that happen. But I mean, I don't know what's going to happen over the course of the year. Maybe it's the Tigers' time. Maybe. I mean, they were the best team in baseball last year for the first few months. And then unfortunately they kind of dropped off, but at least they made it to the ALDS last year, and they had a pretty good series against the Mariners. Strike 3, sit out.
Ball. Ball. Outside. Tag.
Nice. Strike 3, sit out.
Hoo-yah. Tag.
Strike 3, sit down. Freddie Peralta is just something else. I'm pretty sure that's like, I've had at least, more than 5 games where I struck out the entire lineup in Conquest. Like, this is crazy how good that Freddie Peralta is. Or at least this Freddie Peralta finest card. I mean, I could just take on the Angels on veteran. Obviously, I would love to play on rookie, but playing on veteran is still solid enough.
Leading off for the
Sorry, I was just going over
Francisco
text,
Lindor.
some text in the group chat, family group chat.
No balls. One strike. Ball. That's it out. Ball. 1-1.
The only thing with playing on veteran is that it's a little tougher. You know, balls don't seem to fly as much. But that might just be because of where I'm playing. And it looks like the wind is blowing, so I'm sure that's having an impact as well.
One ball, two strikes. Two and two.
Sorry, I just had to turn my heater off. It was burning my leg.
We got a full count.
If it gets too cold, I'll just put it back on.
He's go. Heck. 0-1. Ball outside.
Strike three, sit out.
Ball.
Strike three, sit out.
Hee-haw. 0-1. Hey! 0-2.
Strike three, sit down.
Leading off for New Jersey, the first baseman, Jorge.
The only terrible thing about turning off my AC is that for a little while it'll be blowing cold air. Or not my AC, I'm sorry, my heater. Because it's got to cool down, so.
No balls, two strikes. He's up.
Batting fifth, the left fielder, number 7, Brett Beatty.
Dang it.
He's up.
Ouch.
Batting sixth, the catcher, number 4, Francisco Alvarez.
Okay, I'm not doing myself any favors by swinging at pitches that are below the zone.
Ball. 1-0.
Oh, that's not strike
1
3.
and 2's the count. Got him.
Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Taylor Ward.
Strike 2. That's a ball. 1 2. He's
Strike
out.
3, sit down.
Hit. No balls. 2 strikes. Hit.
Strike 3, sit down.
Now pitching for the Angels, number 74, Kenley Jensen.
Hit. It's 0 and 1.
No,
Did he
I
go?
did not. I knew I didn't. There we go. Fine. Ooh, Robert? Robert Jr.? Raise the apple for Luis Robert Jr.
No ball. Here, what? 1 and 1. Ball. That's high. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Batting ninth, the designated hitter, Mark Vientos.
Nice. Mark Vientos. Raise that apple.
Now pitching for the Angels, number 46, Brock Burke.
You'll have to excuse me. I'm a little bit tired. And Francisco Lindor. Raise the apple.
Now batting, third baseman, Bo Bichette.
Ah, man. Doubled up. Nothing you could do there. But hey, at least we can bring in Devin Williams.
Now pitching, Devin Williams.
That's a ball. 1-0. Oh, yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Strike.
Batting eighth,
Sorry.
the first
Strike
baseman,
3, sit out.
Samuel.
High 2. 0-2. Ball.
Strike 3, sit down. Strike 3, sit down. Ugh. Oops. Oh man, that was what I was hoping to avoid. Shoot. Yeah, I'm gonna have to steal some fans here. Ugh. Alright. Enough looking at Twitter or X because honestly I'm not even sure what I'm looking for exactly. Framber Valdez signed with the Atlanta Braves, so
Counts 1-0.
it seems like the Yankees and Mets are giving up any pursuit they had of Tarek Skubal, so
He's out.
not going to be on Skubal watch.
The third baseman, Bo Bichette.
So I'm not exactly sure exactly what it is that I'm looking for on X. As Bo Bichette is going to raise the apple.
Hey! 0-1. That's a ball.
And so is Jorge Polanco. He's going to raise the apple. Strike 3, sit down.
Hey. No balls, 2 strikes. 3.
Strike 3, sit down. Uh-oh. Oh, boy.
All ones the count.
Strike 3, sit down.
Now pitching for the Royals, number 46, John Schreiber.
Hey. 0-1. Foul. Ball 1.
It's going good,
No, he's in there.
actually. I've already taken the Mariners. I've taken the Reds, Mariners. Who else? The Angels. And now I'm looking. Right now I'm in a Steel fans phase, but the next step is going to be taking the stronghold from the Kansas City Royals. My hope is that at the very least I could get the left side of the map done, and then the right side I could get done on Monday if there is a stream on Monday or Tuesday. But Tuesday may not happen because that's also when the last Captain Blizzard program is going to drop. So when's the storm this weekend? It's a storm for sure. It's gonna. Let's see. I've heard it may start snowing Saturday night. Parts of the U.S. are already getting the snow. Like, I believe New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Texas. So you're talking the central part of the U.S. is already getting the snow. And then I think Friday night into Saturday, that's going to be more of the southeastern U.S. And then it's going to curve up into the northeast by Saturday over. Bad reaction, baby. You better get there. And I just realized that Freddie Peralta is still pitching. I should have brought in Luke Weaver.
Pitching for the Royals, number 41, Daniel Lynch.
Ooh.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that's the thing we're worried about here is that the temperatures are going to drop or they're going to be low for I've heard at least the next week, possibly even 2 weeks. So, I don't think this snow is going to be going anywhere for a while. which is unfortunate.
Now batting, the third baseman, Bo Bichette.
Runner.
Hey! He's safe.
Ooh, that's brutal. Yep, but I guess that's that. It's that time of year.
Yeah.
Now batting, the first baseman, Jorge Polanco.
That's why I hate winter. It's like stuff can freeze. It can make travel conditions
The left fielder,
bad. I mean,
Brett.
you don't hear about heat causing
Now pitching for
problems while traveling,
60.
other than if it's too hot. Then yeah, there's a problem there. But you don't hear people about you don't hear
Now
about
batting,
people
the catcher,
sleeping
Francisco Alvarez.
or slipping off the roads because they overdrove in the summer, unless it's raining. I hate winter, which is funny because my birthday is winter. It's actually next month. So you would think that as a winter baby, I'd be more appreciative of winter, but no. I hate the cold. I want more summer. I feel like it's easier to cool down it's easier to cool down than warm up. Yeah, there will definitely be a birthday stream.
The right fielder, Mike Yastrzemski. Now pitching, Devin Williams.
No, that's foul.
Strike 3, sit out.
Hey. 0-1's the count. Nope, that's inside. Hey. 1 ball, 2 strikes. What do you got?
Okay, no problem. Stop for a while now. So, no rush. We'll get there when we get there.
Hey.
Strike 3, sit down.
Hey. 0-1. Got him.
Beautiful. All right, we can take down the Royal Stronghold now. Ugh. I mean, I don't need that many fans there, so we'll put it at 15. Because that should definitely get me to rookie. Am I ready for... Yes. I'm kind of running out of things here on MLB The Show 25. Like this Cactus Map, this is the last of the last. I mean, there's really not much else until the Then and Now program and the last Captain Blizzard program come out. Otherwise, I literally have nothing else to stream in MLB The Show 2025. But this is what happens when I get to this point in the year. And actually, I got to it a lot sooner than... Nope, all the mini seasons are done. All the Diamond Quests are done. All the Conquest maps, all the programs. There's literally nothing left. The multiplayer program is done. I guess when you have 5 hours or 3 hours to be able to grind everything or be able to grind stuff in a game, you tend to make a lot of progress and you tend to complete a good portion of the game. So that's what me and Bubbles here were discussing earlier this week. Raise the apple for Bo Bichette. Oh, excuse me. No. I did. I got the stolen bases done yesterday, but the innings pitched are going to take a while because it's like over 1,000 innings. And then the other one is the triples, which right now I don't have the lineup to do that. Because I'm doing the Mets projected 2026 lineup, and as you can see, there's not a lot of speed on it. You know, you have Soto and you have Lindor, and if you could gap one, maybe guys with 70 speed or 80 speed might get triples. But otherwise, triples and innings pitched are the ones that I'm struggling with the most. But completing them is not really a big deal to me. Like, if I get them done, great. If not, it's not the end of the world to me. It's like the team affinities. I would love to get them done. But getting the Mets one, that was the most important one for me.
0-2 is the count.
Strike 3, sit down.
Hey! 0-1. Hey! 2.
And the only way I see me getting other team affinity programs done is by playing at La Graza. That's about it. Strike 3, sit down.
Now pitching for the Royals, number 60, Lucas Airstead.
Nice.
the plate. Ball
Yeah, I'm really surprised I didn't get a lot of it. I would have thought that the innings pitched would have been one of the first ones I completed. Because I've been playing most of the year with 9-inning games, so you would think that I would have that legacy program done.
Marcus.
But yet I don't. In fact, you're actually further along than I am.
Aye. 0-1's the count.
But I mean, don't forget there were 2 weeks. Well, actually, there were 3 weeks last year where I didn't play MLB The Show at all because I was on vacation.
Batting ninth, the designated hitter.
And then there were also the weekends that I didn't that I don't play because I have to get ready for work and everything. I gotta leave by I have to leave for work by
Foul ball.
by 5:40 on Saturdays and Sundays. So I don't have time on the weekends to be able to play. Especially if I'm doing Madden and NHL daily missions.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Honestly, I think the then and now or now and later program, I think that's going to be it. I think that's the last program we're going to get.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
All right, well, thank you for Freddie Peralta, cheater, and I'll give you a lot of credit. You called it. You came in here and you said Brendan Sproat and Jet Williams for Freddie Peralta, although Tobias Myers needed to be thrown in for to get the deal done. I feel like both teams are going to benefit from this trade. If we could sign Freddie Peralta long term, I think he could be a solid pitcher for us. I think Tobias Myers could be the arm in the bullpen that we need, or the end of the rotation kind of guy that we need to be able to get through a season. And you guys are getting two great players. Although I have a question about Chet Williams. Where are you guys going to play him? I thought you guys had Jesus made in at short. I don't know how you have for. Oh, so Williams is more MLB ready than Made is? Okay.
2-1.
Well, I mean, hopefully, I'm just hoping he doesn't end up like Pete Crow Armstrong. If he ends up like Pete, PCA, the Mets are going to be kicking themselves.
Now pitching. Brooks Raley.
Okay. All right. Well, best of luck to Jet Williams. He's definitely not one that I would have given up, but, I mean, to make a big trade like that, guess you got to give in order to get.
0-1. Aye.
Strike 3, sit down. I mean, the reality is that there was nowhere for Williams to play other than center field. So, at least on the Mets. He'll definitely get more opportunities in Milwaukee. Well, I guess David Stearns was saying that it just made sense to trade
Now pitching
a pitcher
for
for at least one
number
pitcher.
64,
So I think the Brewers were always going to go wanted a pitcher in return for giving up Peralta. At least that's what Stearns said in the press conference the day after the trade.
Now batting, left fielder Brett.
Maybe, but we have Lindor at shortstop, so there's nowhere for Williams can't play there. And center field, that might have been the best position for Williams, but I mean, I guess we have to let Luis Robert Jr. try it out, and then we can go from there.
Alvarez.
I mean, if we're giving up Luis Angel Acuna for Robert, we better give him a chance. Because that was definitely hard, too. Giving up Acuna. Especially since he's been raking in his Venezuelan baseball league this year. I actually disagree. Yeah, we traded Acuna for Robert. There was just like with Williams, there was nowhere in the infield for Acuna to play. The White Sox.
Ball one. Counts 1-0. Hey, 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's a ball.
I do think they get a solid player because we needed a center fielder. That was one of the biggest holes for the Mets. I mean, look, he's had a rough couple of seasons. I won't disagree with that.
No ball, 2 strikes.
Well, then the Mets are only getting him for 1 year, and then they're done with him. Strike 3, sit out. I don't know what else you want me to tell you.
Runner. No, that's down. Safe. That's ball 2.
Maybe, maybe not. Too early to tell.
Hey. 2 balls, 1 strike.
You gotta let this season play out. You know, a lot can happen over the course of a year. See what happens. Okay, well, enjoy him. Hopefully he does well. I don't have ill will towards Jet. I mean, like I said, I think it's a trade where both teams are going to benefit, both the Brewers and the Mets. A win-win trade. The Mets get a couple solid pitchers, and the Brewers get a solid pitcher who could be MLB ready or is on the cusp of the MLB, and they get a top prospect for the Mets who can play not only shortstop but center field for them as well. Well, I thought so too, but when we traded for Semien, and now we have Polanco and Bo Bichette, assuming that Bo stays after the first season, there was just nowhere in the infield for Acuna.
2-0. No, he's safe. Ball.
Let's see. I don't believe so, no.
2-1.
Because he was on the Mets roster, don't forget, so he wouldn't have been in the prospect system. He was definitely a top 10 prospect for them at one point, yes. But was he number one? I'm not sure. I don't think so.
The third baseman, Bo Bichette.
I think at best, he was a top 3 prospect for them. But I have to go back and look at the rankings from, when after they acquired him in 2023. So then you guys have 2 great shortstops, or 2 potentially great shortstops in Jesus Made and Jet Williams.
He's safe.
I don't know if Williams... I have to look. Does Williams know how to play third base? That, or you develop Jesus Mate to do that. Because I know Williams can play center field. I just don't know about third. But I guess if Bo Bichette can play it for the Mets, then maybe Jet Williams can do it for the Brewers too. This is the Athletic Stadium. I think they share this with the Sacramento River Cats, who are a minor league a minor league team. This is basically where they're playing up until their stadium in Las Vegas is ready, which that might be next year or it might be 2028. I forget.
2-2. Hey, ha!
Oh, so it's next year. Okay. Well, then there you go. So we only have to deal with this stadium for a couple more years. Or we only have to deal with it for next year, and then we get the Las Vegas stadium.
Ball, that's down.
Strike 3, sit down.
Now pitching for the Athletics.
Shortstop, center field, and second base. Okay, well, like I said, if Bo Bichette can learn to play third base for the Mets, then why can't Jet Williams or Jesus Mate learn to play third? I think Jose Ramirez can play both third base and shortstop.
Ball. 2-1.
So Jose Ramirez certainly can.
Ball, that's high.
I think Alex Rodriguez did. Oh, he can play third. Okay. Okay. There's definitely a lot of potential for the Brewers infield, that's for sure.
Hey, it's 0-1.
Raise the apple for Marcus Semien.
Now pitching for the Athletics.
Well, here's the thing, Cheater. In that time frame, you're only looking at 2.5 years at best.
That's a ball. 1-0.
Because you're talking about this season, and I mean, the Dodgers are going to be... The Dodgers are the team to beat. So, unless the Brewers are going to upset them this year, I'm leaning more towards a Dodgers three-peat as I raise the apple for Mark Vientos. 2027, I think the lockout is going to cancel at least half the season, potentially even the entire season. I really hope it doesn't get to that, but it depends on how firm the owners are going to be in the collective bargaining agreement talks. And by then, we're going to be at 2028. And there's not going to be any baseball played during while the collective bargaining agreement is being negotiated. So,
Ball. 1 ball, no strikes.
I think so too. That's why I'm saying that 2027 might be a lost cause. Raise the apple for Juan Soto. So, like I said, you're looking at best 2.5 seasons. See, the funny thing is, Cheater, that they're not... what we're seeing right now with the Dodgers is exactly what the Yankees were doing in the late late 90s, they were buying a lot of players, a lot of good players, and they were getting to World Series after World Series, had one of those three-peats that I mentioned. So I just, to me, it's funny that people are complaining about this because this is pretty much what the Yankees did. Only the Yankees didn't take advantage of a deferral like the Dodgers did with Ohtani. But deferrals have always been part of the game. Strike three, sit down. I mean, Bobby Bonilla did deferrals that are pretty much going to pay him from the Mets for the next 10 years. Well, that's going to be all part of the collective bargaining agreement.
No balls, one strike.
I'm sure the small market teams are going to come out and say that's not fair, that the big city or the teams that can afford to do that, like the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Mets, the Phillies, they can afford to do that, but we can't. That's not fair. And I think that's ultimately why they're going to lock out. I don't know. I mean, we're not even there yet. We'll have to wait and see what the demands are. But I definitely see this being a long one and possibly even shortening the season like it did, like the 2020 season was. But that was because of COVID. If that's to happen, then I don't care who wins the 2027 World Series. To me, that's not... To me, that doesn't count. Again, Dodgers are doing the same thing that the Yankees have done for years. Not trying to stand up for the Dodgers here, I'm just pointing that out. So are we saying that the Yankees were ruining baseball over 20 years ago?
1-2.
Honestly, I think we were better off not even doing a baseball season, but then the MLB would have lost money because they would argue, because fans would argue that the NHL and the NBA did their full seasons or did the remainders of their seasons, even crowned their champions, and the NFL did its full season. College football was a little iffy because some conferences did a full season, some didn't. Yes, it was. Well, I think the big issue was the fact that there was no unified action, because you look at schools in the SEC and the Big 12, they were given the green light to go ahead and play full seasons because they played in states where COVID lockdowns were pretty much non-existent. Whereas teams in the Big 10 and even parts of the ACC, they couldn't play. I think even the Pac-12 too. They couldn't play a full season because their states had restrictions. So there was no unified action on the college football season. I think they played 10 games. I think they played 10 games and then that was it. So it wasn't even a full season. Let's see. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They played 9 games. So I was actually, yeah, Penn State is Big Ten. So they only did 9 games. I was off by 1. A college basketball game? I think they're working on it. I don't know what the deal is there. Maybe it's a little bit harder because you have to consider mid-conference schools in there. And there's a lot of mid-conference games. I doubt it. I think EA Sports takes it. I mean, 2K hasn't done a college basketball game, I think, since 2K8. Well, they have the rights for college football. I don't know about college basketball. That might be a whole separate issue, which is why we don't have a game or an NCAA basketball game yet. It's a lot of negotiations. That's what this whole name and image likeness thing was about. But the issue is that the athletes don't benefit. If their name and images are used, but they don't sign an agreement. That's why we didn't have a college football game for so long. But they weren't making money back then, cheater. Name and image likeness deals only started coming into play following the COVID-19 pandemic. What do you mean? Like, why did they stop making the game? It's because guys decided that they actually wanted to make money, or the athletes wanted money, and the NCAA wasn't willing to do it. So they had to go through court. And ultimately, the court sided with the athletes, and that's how we get.
He's out.
Oh, well, that's when the NIL deals were in effect. Or are you talking about before then? Like the last NCAA football game, which was NCAA football 14.
Ball 1.
Do I think it's ruining college football? I mean, look, Carlos Mendoza went from, or I'm sorry, not Carlos Mendoza. Fernando Mendoza went from UCLA to Indiana, and that's a program that hasn't been successful in college football. So, You know, at the end of the day, I don't think Indiana is complaining about it.
Inside.
And I don't think a lot of the big schools are complaining about it. I'm sure it does hurt the smaller schools, but to be fair, transfer portals have always been a thing in college basketball. They only just became a new thing in college football, or at least it really didn't get big until recently. So, although I will say that my opinion on the NILs, I hated it because the way I saw it, here are athletes, college athletes, who are getting full ride scholarships, or at least parts of scholarships, to be able to play a game that they've been playing their entire lives, and now they get to come in and they get to make money as well as keep the scholarship money. To me, that was unfair. And I was always suggesting that whatever the college athletes make in NIL deals, they should give back to the school in scholarship money. So if they make, let's say, $15,000 in NIL deals or sponsorships, whatever the school takes that away in scholarships. That was my opinion. And then that scholarship money could go more for academics or for athletes who can't take advantage of those NIL deals. That way more people can go to college. That's how I always viewed NIL deals. But athletes would never go for that. Raise the apple for Francisco Alvarez. I mean, you have to think about it. Did we ever think we would get a national championship final where we would have both Indiana and Miami in it? And for so long, we were having championship finals that were consistently Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia. Like, the same teams were getting into the college football national championship. LSU. Right. But now this changes things up a bit. Now we had two new teams in Indiana and Miami. I mean, you could pretty much think of it as like the March Madness tournament, where all it takes is for one school to go on a Cinderella run, and all of a sudden, like Wichita State did many years ago, and now they're considered one of the best collegiate basketball programs in the nation. Yes, it is.
Pitching for the White Sox.
I think they could have made it with Robert Griffin III. I think they could have.
Ball one.
That would have been very interesting to see. Attaboy, send me in. Yep. Raise the apple for Mark Vientos. I mean, look, the way the college football playoffs is formatted, it's not impossible to think. Oh, college basketball? Oh, you're asking the wrong guy. I don't watch college basketball. Francisco Lindor with the home run. Raise the apple.
Now pitching for the White Sox, number 40, Tyler Gilbert.
Aye! 0-1.
I mean, I don't know how they're doing this season. You gotta tell me. How are they doing?
Aye! 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And 7.
The third baseman, Bo.
Well, I mean, there's still a month of basketball to play.
That's
Wait,
foul.
11 and 7. Don't some teams like have more than 30 games? You think Arizona is going to win it? Interesting. Raise the apple for Bo Bichette. What makes Arizona so good? All right. Raise the apple for Brett Beatty.
Now
Right.
pitching for the White Sox,
So, I mean, at least it's a winning record.
Ranger Eller.
You know, but you are getting into conference play now, and there's a month to go before. Oh, Arizona is undefeated. Oh, wow. Well, it just goes to show you what I know, because I haven't been paying attention to college basketball all season. I guess I just don't care about basketball in general. Like, I haven't even touched NBA 2K in months. In fact, I just deleted it from my console storage. Francisco Alvarez, raise the apple.
Now batting, second baseman.
I mean, look, you never know what happens. Like I said, all it takes is just one Cinderella run in the NCAA tournament, and Baylor could be back on top. Raise the apple for Marcus Semien.
Now pitching for the White Sox, number 60, Brian Hudson.
You never know. Sometimes all it takes is one big recruit.
He's out.
The batter, the shortstop,
Sometimes you just got to get good runs, and who knows? Right, exactly. I mean, some of these guys are just ready to go to the NBA. They have a high enough draft pick. Yeah, but see, basketball, that can't be done because now you have guys going to the NBA G League.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Or I'm sorry, was it now? Is it it's the G League, right? Where they have recruits, instead of going to college, they go right to the G League, and then they could get drafted.
Batting 6, the center fielder, Michael A. Taylor.
It wouldn't work. It just wouldn't, because for some guys, they're just ready to get into the NBA before they even reach their sophomore year.
No
G
ball,
League
2 strikes.
Ignite. There you go. Yep, that's it.
That's out. 3.
It wouldn't work. Plus basketball, you take some bad injuries, and all of a sudden, you don't even make it 3 years in college basketball. Your roster spot gets taken, you lose your scholarship, and you lose any dream of making it to the NBA. Basketball is a pretty grueling sport.
The first baseman, number 7, Jorge Polanco.
Aye. 0-1.
I guess we'll see. Well, I mean, you have to reach out to the recruit. Sometimes they have assistant coaches do that, and sometimes the coaches will do it themselves, although I feel like the coaches get involved once a recruit is leaning more towards the program. And then it'll start probably with reaching out on social media or some emails. And then it eventually, after some conversations, it gets up to, coming for a visit, watching some games, attending practice, learning more about the program, what the expectations are. And I believe that's when the coach gets involved. And then after a few more conversations, whether they be by phone, email, or something like that, then they'll say, okay, here's your scholarship, here's what we're offering, and then the recruit can either take it or reject it. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I hate winter. Can't stand below freezing temperatures. I don't know how anyone can stand that.
Ball.
Oh, well, that's good.
Nope. 2-2 to count. 3.
Strike 3, sit down. Wow. Impressive. Like I said, impressive. Didn't you mention that one of your school's basketball players had a scholarship from UNLV? Or am I thinking of someone else? Because I thought someone told me that they had D1 offer, or their. Okay, maybe it was someone else. Oh, you know what? I think I was thinking of Woogie. Woogie, I think, told me that. UNLV is not a bad program, is it? I was thinking along the lines of basketball. I thought they used to have a good program, but maybe I'm wrong. Super mid? Oh, I see. Well, like I said, I don't know too much. I don't follow college basketball anymore, so all the information that I have is based on prior knowledge going back more than a decade. It may be super mid, but in my opinion, you just need to get to the NCAA tournament. And once you get there, if you could go on a Cinderella run, then it doesn't matter if you're mid-major. I mean, look at Wichita State. Wichita State was a mid-major, and all of a sudden they go on a Cinderella run, and they become a top program. Or what about University of Illinois Lafayette? Sister Jean, you remember her? That was a mid-major school, and yet they became one of the top basketball programs for a long time. It still might be a top program. I don't know what the record is. Okay. All right. I mean, your guess is better than mine. Because like I said, I don't pay attention. All right. I think this is where I'm going to end it, guys. So that's going to do it for me. So thank you to everyone who tuned in. Even if it was only for a moment, I greatly appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to follow me here on Twitch and or subscribe. Either one would make me a happy person. If you're watching this on YouTube, I thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you like the video and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to know when I go live, you can follow me on X at TTVNextJGGen24. It's my gamer tag that's on the left side of your screen there. So go give me a follow. I'll usually post whenever I go live. You can also turn on notifications here on Twitch. That way Twitch sends you an email every time I start up a stream. So overall, this was good. We made some progress. I didn't think we would get it, all done. I just wanted to get the left side of the map done, on Monday. Possibly on Monday, maybe on Tuesday, depending on whether or not I can actually get home. We'll see. But one of those days, I am going to resume this Conquest map, and then we'll have the Captain Blizzard, the final Captain Blizzard drop program coming up on Tuesday. So at the very least, that's something we're going to grind, as well as this Conquest map. And then once we finish this and the Conquest map or the Captain Blizzard program, not sure what we're going to do from there. So, but we'll figure that out either Monday or Tuesday. I will let you guys know. So I hope to see you all either Monday or Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And until then, guys, have a good night. Have a great weekend. And make sure you stay inside. Be careful of the snow. See ya.